Hello, this protocol will teach you how to calibrate a pH probe. Before you start, we'll need to gather a few things. First, you'll need the 7-to-go pH meter. You'll need some DI water, the chem wipes, and 3 buffer solutions of 4, 7, and 10. These are going to be in pink, blue, and yellow liquids. For every use of the pH probe, you'll need to calibrate the instrument. To calibrate the pH probe, the first thing you need to do is remove the cap. Be careful because there's a substance in here, a liquid, and you'll want to untwist it, take the cap off, and leave it upright. You'll want to return the probe to the cap at the end. First thing you'll do now is you'll rinse the electrode with DI water. Be really careful when you're using the electrode because this is the most sensitive part of the instrument. So you'll rinse it with DI water, and then you'll use a special chem wipe, not a paper towel, to dry it off, and very gently just dab the probe and make sure that probe is clean and dry. Now, on the pH meter, you're going to press the power button to power on the pH meter, and then you're going to get a buffer solution. We're going to start with the 10 buffer solution. This is usually a blue liquid. So just unscrew the cap. First, you're going to place the probe inside of the buffer solution, swirl it around a few times, and you're going to press the calibrate button on the pH meter. And on the bottom left, you should see the number 1. If you don't see a number 1, make sure you contact a peer mentor or your professor. So then go ahead and swirl it around until the A stops flashing. When the A stops flashing, you have your reading. At that point, you're going to hit the save button, the download looking arrow, and then you can rinse off your probe and recap your pH buffer. Afterwards, you'll repeat this process with the pH of 4. You'll have to rinse off the pH probe and wipe it off with a chem wipe. Stir it around a little bit, and then you'll hit the calibrate button once again. The number on the bottom right of the probe should now say 2 because this is your second reading. You'll stir it around for a few seconds until the A stops flashing, at which point you'll hit the save button, take your probe out, recap your buffer solution, and then rinse off once again and prepare for your third and final calibration reading. Dry it off with another chem wipe. And then take your final pH solution, the neutral one of 7. Uncap it. You're going to swirl it around in the pH solution. Hit the calibrate button. Should go to the number 3 now. Wait for the A to stop flashing after a few seconds. It will. Hit the save button. You can recap that, and at this point you're all calibrated. All right, so now we're ready to actually take the measurement of the pH of an unknown substance. So we're going to go ahead and start by rinsing the probe with DI water and drying it off with a chem wipe. All right, and then you're going to take your solution that you want to measure the pH of, and you're going to insert the probe in and start to gently swirl it around with controlled swirls. And you're going to press the green middle button on the pH meter 1 time, and you're just again waiting for that A to stop. Once it has, go ahead and record the pH and the temperature. And lastly, you're going to rinse off your probe with DI water and dry it off with a chem wipe. You can repeat that step as many times as necessary. Once you're done, be sure to recap the electrode and make sure that it's completely submerged in the storage solution. You have now successfully learned how to calibrate and use the pH probe. Good luck with your STEP lab research.